The New York Giants look different now. John Harbaugh runs the building. The 5-year deal got signed in late January. The 21st head coach in franchise history walked into East Rutherford with 12 playoff trips, 1 Super Bowl ring, and 18 seasons in Baltimore. The first rookie minicamp under him wrapped this weekend. One name kept echoing through the press tent: Arll Reese. The number 5 overall pick from Ohio State, 6'4", 241 pounds. He moves like a slot defender and reads the field like a coach. Through 2 days of practice, John Harbaugh told reporters Arll Reese has not missed one assignment, not a single one. The way Dennard Wilson plans to deploy him, nobody outside the building has seen the full picture yet. This is not the same roster Giants fans watched lose 13 games last season. The interior defensive line got blown up. Dexter Lawrence went to Cincinnati. Bobby Okereke got cut. Wan'Dale Robinson signed with the Titans for $78 million over 4 years, joining former head coach Brian Daboll in Tennessee. The Giants answered with DJ Reader on 2 years and $12.5 million, Shelby Harris on a free agent deal, Tremaine Edmonds for 3 years and $36 million, and former Ravens tight end Isaiah Likely on a 3-year $40 million contract. Patrick Ricard signed to lead block. Daniel Faalele signed to start at right guard, and the Giants grabbed a Miami All-American at number 10 overall, a player John Harbaugh ranked top 5 on the entire board. The trade behind the pick changed the math of the whole roster. The full damage drops later. The secondary still rolls 4 deep with Paulson Adebo, Javon Holland, Tyler Nubin, and Drew Phillips. The Giants added veteran corner Greg Newsome, safety Ardarius Washington, and a rookie corner from Tennessee who walked off day 1 with the play of camp on his ledger. Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, Abdul Carter, and Chauncey Golston form the edge group. Dennard Wilson has promised nasty football. The size of the bodies on this roster makes it real. The NFC East is wide open. Vegas set the win total at 7.5. The number every Giants fan is debating tonight ties straight to John Harbaugh, and year 1 is the story of the offseason. But before we get into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more Giants and all the NFL content. Let's aim for 500 likes on this video. The play of camp belongs to Colton Hood, the second-round corner from Tennessee, number 37 overall pick. He lined up across from undrafted free agent Thaddeus Dixon during a closed downhill drill. Running back Miles Davis caught a flat pass. Colton Hood ripped the ball clean from his hands and took it to the house. Pick 6, day 1. Head coach John Harbaugh said the play was smart and physical at the same time. After practice, a reporter asked Colton Hood if it was too physical for a non-contact drill. His answer came back in 7 words: "I have to get paid too." The body language coming out of the press tent told the rest. He is auditioning for a starting job. The fit on this whole roster is real. The Giants paid Paulson Adebo $38.5 million guaranteed last March. They paid safety Javon Holland $30.5 million guaranteed in the same week. They drafted Tyler Nubin and Drew Phillips in round 2 of the 2024 class. They signed Greg Newsome to a 1-year, $8 million deal this spring after his run with Cleveland and Jacksonville. Deonte Banks still holds a roster spot from his 2023 first-round pedigree. And now, Colton Hood drops the day 1 play of camp on his own tape. New defensive coordinator Dennard Wilson came over from Tennessee, where his defense finished second in the league in total yards allowed in 2024. He likes corners who deliver the hit. Colton Hood matches the profile. The other side of the play, receiver Miles Davis, is also a rookie chasing a roster spot. These two were running their first reps as Giants. The physicality before pads ever come on signals what year 1 looks and feels like under John Harbaugh. He earned his head coaching shot off a special teams background, but every position group has been told to fight for the football. New York Daily News beat writer Pat Leonard called the Colton Hood pick 6 a snapshot of the identity already forming. The Giants gave up too many slot completions in 2025. Now 8 bodies fight for 5 spots, and the rookie from Tennessee picked the loudest way to announce himself. Turn your attention to the front seven, because the noise gets louder there. Now back to Arll Reese, the number 5 overall pick, Ohio State, 6'4", 241 pounds. He moves with the build of an edge rusher, the hips of a slot defender, the read instincts of a coach on the sideline. The Giants drafted him with one specific plan in mind. John Harbaugh said it plainly on draft night. You will not find a better player on the board. The Giants ranked him first internally among non-quarterbacks in the entire class. He fell to number 5 because the Jets grabbed David Bailey at number 2 and the Cardinals snatched Jeremiah Love at number 3. Arll Reese sat there at 5. The Giants did not move. They turned in the card and walked away with the player they wanted most. Here's the answer. Arll Reese runs from the will linebacker spot in this defense. The will alignment under Denard Wilson is not one place on the field. Art Stapleton from the Bergen Record reported the breakdown straight from John Harbaugh. The will spot has varied alignment from down to down, middle of the field, and end of the D-line over the guard. Translation: Arll Reese lines up off ball. He lines up over the guard. He lines up on the edge. He stunts inside. He drops into coverage. Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau and Abdul Carter still play the edge. But with Arll Reese roaming, the Giants have 4 edge rushers on the field at once or 4 chess pieces, mixing assignments before the snap. Pair Arll Reese with veteran middle linebacker Tremaine Edmunds at the second level. Tremaine Edmunds signed 3 years and $36 million from Chicago after 3 seasons in the middle. Now John Harbaugh has his Roquan Smith in East Rutherford. Micah McFadden returns on a 1-year deal as the sub-package linebacker. Jack Kelly from BYU came in as a 6th-round developmental piece with sack production. Pat Leonard called this front 7 the most physically gifted Giants defense in 15 years. Run defense had been the biggest weakness last season, with the highest yards per carry allowed in the league at 5.3. Add Tremaine Edmunds, add DJ Reader in front of him, add Arll Reese behind him, and suddenly the math changes. From day 1 under Denard Wilson, you press everything from snap to whistle. Period. Nobody saw this coming. The kicker competition is going to be must-watch theater. 3 legs. 1 job. Undrafted free agent Dominic Zvada out of Michigan walked into rookie minicamp and hit 5 of 5 from the left hash with a 55-yarder to close practice. John Harbaugh sang his praises in the press tent. Big leg. Big, tall, rangy kind of guy. Big for a kicker, you would say. The vertical swing pattern gets him downfield through the kick. The numbers back it up. Dominic Zvada went 1 of 22 in 2024 at Michigan, including 7 of 7 from beyond 50 yards. He sits on the same depth chart as veteran Jason Sanders and incumbent Ben Sauls. Jason Sanders signed a 1-year deal after 7 seasons in Miami. He missed all of 2025 with a hip injury, but the Pro Bowl pedigree from 2020 is on the resume. Ben Sauls kicked the final 3 games of last season for the Giants, going 8 of 8 on field goals and 7 of 7 on extra points as an undrafted rookie. Now both of them have to beat Dominic Zvada, who set the single-season record at Michigan for 50-plus yarders made. Kicker competitions almost never happen in the spring. John Harbaugh comes from a special teams background. He coordinated special teams in Philadelphia from 1998 until his head coaching break in 2008. This kicker room reflects his fingerprints. The special teams overhaul does not stop there. Punter Jordan Stout signed from Baltimore as the league's highest-paid punter. Long snapper Zach Triner signed as a free agent. Special teams coordinator Chris Horton came over with John Harbaugh after 12 straight seasons together in Baltimore. He helped coach long snapper Morgan Cox, returner Devin Duvernay, kicker Justin Tucker, and punter Sam Koch into Pro Bowls. Now apply the same pedigree to Patrick Ricard, the Giants' new fullback and special teams ace. Patrick Ricard signed 2 years and $7.63 million from Baltimore. He earned 6 Pro Bowls over 9 seasons with the Ravens, with 3 straight All-Pro honors, including first team in 2024. The hidden game has been an afterthought in East Rutherford for years. It is the headline now. Time to break down the depth chart position by position. ESPN's Mike Clay updates his preseason power rankings every year. Last August, he ranked the Giants offense 28th, defense 4th, team 23rd, projected win 6.7. They finished 4-13. This year, he has the team at 20th. Both sides. Projected win 7.4. Look at the current roster. Quarterback, Jackson Dart, entering year 2 with a real coaching staff around him. New passing game coordinator, Brian Callahan, the former Titans head coach, is his quarterback's coach. Backups, Jameis Winston and Brandon Allen, round out the room. Running back, Cam Scatterbo returns from the dislocated ankle. Tyrone Tracy and Devin Singletary form the depth, and fullback Patrick Ricard pancakes for both of them. Receiver, Malik Neighbors when he returns, Darius Slayton. New addition Darnell Mooney on 1 year up to $10 million. New addition Calvin Austin on 1 year $4.5 million. Rookie third rounder Malachi Fields out of Notre Dame. Isaiah Hodgins re-signed. Tight end Isaiah likely from Baltimore on 3 years up to $47.5 million. Theo Johnson entering year 3. Chris Manhertz for blocking. Offensive line, left tackle Andrew Thomas. Left guard John Runyon. Center John Michael Schmitz Jr. Right guard Daniel Falele. Right tackle Jermone Ilwiminor. Depth from 6th rounder J.C. Davis. Second year Marcus Mbao, Joshua Azudu, and re-signed Evan Neal. Interior defensive line, DJ Reader on 2 years and $12.5 million. Shelby Harris as the 3-tech. Lecky Fotu for depth. Zach Pickens claimed off Kansas City waivers. Bobby Jamison Travis, drafted in round 6 out of Auburn. Roy Robertson Harris still in the rotation. Edge rush, Brian Burns. Kayvon Thibodeau. Abdul Carter, entering year 2. Chauncey Golston healthy. Off-ball linebacker, Tremaine Edmonds. Arll Reese, Micah McFadden. Jack Kelly. Secondary, Paulson Adebo at corner. Greg Newsome added in free agency. Deonte Banks in competition. Rookie second rounder, Colton Hood, already pushing. Nickel, Drew Phillips. Safeties, Javon Holland, Tyler Nubin, Ardarius Washington, Jason Pinnock, and Elijah Campbell. The depth chart goes 30 deep in real names. The plan from Joe Schoen and SVP of Football Operations Dawn Aponte was to fix every weak spot at once. They have done it. Now the math meets the practice field at training camp in West Virginia. The NFC East has the Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Commanders. Philadelphia walks in as the defending division champion for the past 5 years. The Cowboys still anchor with elite pass catching from CeeDee Lamb. The Commanders made the leap last season behind Jaden Daniels. The Giants spent last winter watching the rest of the East run downhill against them. They allowed 5.3 yards per carry, the highest figure in the entire league. So the front office turned the weakness into the offseason plan. DJ Reader is one of the best run-stopping nose tackles in the sport. Shelby Harris plugs the 3-tech. Patrick Ricard clears the path in the run game on offense. Tremaine Edmonds patrols the second level. The build is to win the line of scrimmage on both sides. Then look at who else left the division. Wan'Dale Robinson signed in Tennessee. Cordell Flott signed in Tennessee. Daniel Bellinger signed in Tennessee. Brian Dable is the Titans' new offensive coordinator under Robert Saleh. The Titans cleaned out the Giants of 3 contributors and the entire previous coaching staff. The split with Tennessee is one storyline for Week 13 or wherever the schedule lands the rematch. The schedule comes out Thursday the 14th at 7:30 Eastern. Mark the calendar. The other key division note. The Eagles linebacker market drove Tremaine Edmonds' money down, but the Giants paid the premium anyway. $23.7 million guaranteed. Why? Because John Harbaugh said it at the Combine. You will not stop the run without an inside linebacker making tackles in the middle. The receiver room got an upgrade too. Malachi Fields is 6'4". He runs slants from the slot. He blocks at the second level in the run game. He brings the body type the Giants have lacked at receiver, and unlike most rookies at the position, this one wants the dirty work. Word from rookie minicamp is Malachi Fields ran clean. Slant routes, used his catch radius, and dropped one open downfield pass. The depth chart absorbs it. Malik Neighbors is the alpha. Darnell Mooney stretches the field. Calvin Austin runs the slot. Darius Slayton is the reliable veteran. Isaiah likely runs from the tight end alignment with slot receiver experience. This is the receiver core Matt Nagy wanted. And the offense looks different than 5 years of misery here in East Rutherford. Now the second payoff. The Giants had pick number 5 locked in for months. They did not have pick number 10. Pick number 10 belonged to the Cincinnati Bengals. The Giants made the call the Sunday before the draft. They sent 4-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence to Cincinnati for the 10th overall pick in 2026. Dexter Lawrence signed a 1-year, $28 million extension in Cincinnati, putting him under contract through 2028. The deal closed before the draft. The Giants then used the pick on Miami All-American Francis Mauigoa, 6'5", 330 pounds, 2025 consensus first team. The trade was the rest of the math from earlier in the breakdown. Picture the moment from the draft stage. Francis Mauigoa turned to second-year quarterback Jackson Dart and told him in front of the cameras, "I am ready to die for you." The Miami offensive lineman then told reporters the same line of thinking applies across every offensive lineman. As offensive linemen, we should be able to put everything on the line because the quarterback is the key to the offense. Hold on the size for a moment. 6'5", 330 pounds. The right guard slot was the single biggest hole on the offensive line going into the draft. Daniel Falele signed first, then Francis Mauigoa got drafted to compete with him or kick out to right tackle eventually. Either way, the Giants now have the biggest offensive line in football. Across the entire roster, the Giants weigh 1,200 pounds in defensive tackle alone, with DJ Reader at 6'3", 327, Shelby Harris at 6'2", 290, Leki Fotu at 6'5", 317, and Zach Pickens at 6'4", 303. The offensive line adds Daniel Falele at 6'8", 370, and Francis Mauigoa at 6'5", 330. John Harbaugh wanted size. Matt Nagy wanted physicality. Both got it. This is the front the Eagles trenches have to deal with twice a year. This is what trading Dexter Lawrence bought. The price was the most beloved interior defender in the building, and the return was a draft slot the Giants used to remake the future on both sides of the ball. Year 1 under John Harbaugh opens at 4-13 last season, 23rd in projected team strength per Mike Clay, 7.4 projected wins, and 7.5 on the Vegas board. Take the over. The math here is straightforward. The defense gained 2 linebackers, a nose tackle, a 3-tech, an off-ball blocking weapon, and an All-American offensive lineman. The receiver room added a deep threat, a slot runner, and a tight end weapon. The kicker, punter, long snapper, fullback, and special teams coordinator all got upgraded. The offensive line got 6 total new options. The secondary got the play of camp from a rookie. The number says 9 wins is the floor. Anything less in year 1 of a Super Bowl winning head coach is a disappointment. Then there is the Odell Beckham Jr. question. John Harbaugh confirmed at the Arizona Biltmore he and OBJ still talk, still text. The wide receiver is in Arizona training with his son. John Harbaugh has said publicly the obvious answer is, if Odell is an option, we will be looking at it. The body language from inside the building tells a different story. The Giants are not closed off, but the depth chart already has Malik Neighbors, Darius Slayton, Darnell Mooney, Calvin Austin, Malachi Fields, Isaiah Hodgins, and reliable veteran Gunnar Olszewski. The case for OBJ is 1 season of insurance if Malik Neighbors is not ready for week 1. The case against him is the 7 other names already locked into the room. Pat Leonard reports the 2 stay in contact, but a deal is not imminent. The next breakdown drops with the schedule release Thursday the 14th at 7:30 Eastern. Watch the channel for the live drop. Subscribe before it lands so you get the full opponent by opponent breakdown the second it goes live. Drop your prediction in the comments. 9 wins, 10 wins, 11. John Harbaugh has won at least one playoff game in each of his first 5 seasons. Everyone. So the bold call out of East Rutherford for year 1 is exactly this. The Giants finish 10-7, take the second wildcard slot in the NFC, and beat the Eagles at least once in the regular season. Push back in the comments. Tell me where the floor is. The receiver room is still being built, and you have not seen what Joe Schoen does with the next undrafted free agent wave yet.